Yo, for those of you who don't know me, I gained 17 kilograms of muscle in the last 3.5 years going to the gym. And if there was one thing that I would do differently starting over, it would be to go on an absolute massive fucking bulk. At least for the first like 6 months. If I would start over, I would start bulking and just go and really commit to a proper 6 month bulk. I didn't do that when I started, and I pretty much half-assed the gym, only going 3 days a week, doing some lazy ass workouts, and I still made solid gains because of noob gains, but I definitely did not maximize the amount of gains that I could have made if I just went on a proper bulk. So if I would start over, I would just go on a massive fucking bulk. The reason being, if you are going on a bulk, especially as a beginner, you have the potential to earn, to gain up to zero point 0.5 kilograms every single week. So if you go on a 6 month bulk, which is 26 weeks, just do the math. Half a kilogram a week for 26 weeks. That is 13 kilograms. 13 kilograms, if you are skinny, is fucking life changing, right? That's why this video is probably going to be titled One Bulk Could Change Your Life, because it literally can. 6 months of just hustle, 6 months of locking in and committing to the bulk, eating your ass off, training your ass off for 6 months. You could be gaining 13 kilograms, which most of that is going to be muscle, especially if you're a beginner, right? Not much of that is going to be fat. And even if there is some fat, it doesn't fucking matter because you're probably, when you're starting, you're probably like really fucking skinny, really low body fat. You probably have a six pack, right? Because you're so fucking skinny. You have like the typical skinny six pack, like I've had a six pack my entire fucking life, you know, just because I was so fucking lean and ripped and, skinny as fuck, right? It's just a skinny six pack. So if you lose your ab definition a little bit, it doesn't fucking matter, right? You will lose that fat so fucking fast. You don't even have to do a massive cut afterwards. You could probably lose that in like 2 weeks. The amount of fat that you're gonna gain on a 6 month bulk, starting from really skinny. That extra little bit of fat is probably going to be healthy for you as well. So I wouldn't not worry about that at all. Because the return, like the positive benefit of gaining the size just far outweighs the potential negatives of having a little bit more body fat. So it shouldn't even bother you at all that you. So what I would do if I started over, I would determine my maintenance calories, which is your body weight in kilograms times 33. That's for most people like pretty accurate. Then you just add 500 and you make sure that you're gaining up to half a kilogram a week. And then you just do that for 6 months, right? I would be tracking like two things. I would be tracking my protein because that's something that I neglected in the beginning as well. So I would be tracking my protein, making sure that I eat around 2 grams per kilogram of body weight because it's easy mathematics. Anywhere between 1.6 and 2.2 grams is the mole. I just like to do body weight times two because it's really simple mathematics. I can't be ours. It's just so that's what I would do. I would track my protein, I would track my calories, and I would just make sure that I hit that every single day. I wouldn't worry about like macros other than like protein because it makes things a little bit too complicated. But I would probably go a little bit more carbs as I choose. So yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking like, damn, I could have like I gained 17 kilograms in 3.5 years, which is really good, right? I'm really happy with. But I'm just sitting here thinking, if I just committed to bulk from the start, when I had like the potential of my noob gains, I could have gained like 13 kilograms in that first 6 months of lifting instead of the 5 kilograms that I gained the first year, you know? I could have gained at least like double the amount of weight in half the time, which is fucking crazy. I thought I was doing good. I thought I thought 5 kilograms in a year was really fucking impressive. Now looking back and like knowing what I know now and learning what I've learned now, I realize that that special, you know? It's pretty fucking easy to do that because I didn't really train hard. You know, I didn't even think about diet. But you know, there was one thing that I had, and that was consistency. I did not skip a lot of workout, at least not for the first 6 months. I don't think I skipped a single workout for the first 6 months training. So that I did great. And I think that's a big reason, you know, why I made some solid gains as well, because keep showing up, even even if you're showing up shit, you know, you're gonna get some gains just because of the fact that you're, you know, doing 100 workouts. You know, if you do 100 workouts, even if the workouts aren't that great, you're still gonna gain muscle just because of the fact that, you know, you just showed up and you just did 100 workouts. You still got some stimulus from that. You know, you still got some muscle growth, but I could have done so much better. So that's why I want to make this video, because I don't want you to suffer the same thing as me. I want you to reach your goals and your dream physique way faster than I did, because after 3.5 years of lifting, I still don't have it. It's probably gonna take me another 2 years, which is fine by me. Like, I enjoy it, so it doesn't really matter to me. You know, if I did it in 5 years or in three, like, it doesn't really bother me that much. But I want you to gain it as fast as you possibly can. And in my opinion, the best way to gain it as fast as possible is not to try and do it slowly, but actually do try to do it fast and just commit to a proper bulk. Don't, you know, go overboard. Don't go do like those insane dirty bulks that you see on social media, because you're just gonna get fat. We don't want to get fat, of course. That's too much. You know, if you're gaining like too much fat, it's also like being healthy, and it's gonna be very hard to lose that. So we don't want that, obviously. But like I said, if you're a beginner, your potential to build muscle is so fucking high, and it's gonna be so fucking fast and so easy that even if you gain weight really fast, it's not gonna be much fat. So make the most of it and maximize your noob gains in the first 6 months. And yeah, like I said, like, you're 6 months away from completely changing your life. If you gain 13 kilograms, if you gain 13 kilograms in 6 months, which is a really short time, by the way. So, you know, if it doesn't go as fast, even if you gain it, like, even if you gain 13 kilograms in a year, that's still fucking life changing. You know, 13 kilograms is massive difference. You're gonna look completely different. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much more confident, especially, you know, because it's gonna be muscle, right? So you're gonna look fucking so much better, right? Just think about that for a second. Let that just sink in. 13 kilograms. What would 13 kilograms do to you? What would 13 kilograms feel like? You know, just look in the mirror right now and just visualize yourself with 13 kilograms of extra muscle mass. How would you look? How would you feel when you wake up and look in the mirror? You know? So, like, no matter how fucking hard it is for those 6 months, isn't it worth it? You know, aren't you willing to pay whatever it takes, to do whatever it takes, excuse me, and to just pay whatever the price is? Because I would. Like, I remember being 61 kilograms. You know, you might even be fucking lighter than I was, you know? So I remember being 61 kilograms and feeling terrible about it. I remember looking at physiques online and thinking, shit, that was me. You're only 6 months away, dude. 6 months. Unreal. So, hopefully, that was helpful too. Hopefully, I kind of woke you up with that, and hopefully, I got you excited. I I hope I got you excited. Thank you so much for listening this long. If you made it here to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you want any other video, or you want me to cover any other topic, just let me know in the comments. I'll make a video about it. And if you want my personal help, the best way to get it is to just join my community with the link in the description. If not, I will just see you in the next video. Bye bye.